And it was said to him, how do you know about Muhammad and he's not created yet? And Nabi Adam alayhi salam, he said, I knew he has such a high darajat, such a high station and status, because I saw his name beside your name, O Allah, on the pillar of Al-Arsh. And Allah Ta'ala accepted the tawbah of Adam alayhi salam on Ashura. Another beautiful and amazing thing that happened on Ashura is that the ark of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam landed. It landed in North Iraq, in a place where Abu Rafi is from, near Al-Mosul, in a mountain called Mount Al-Judi. It's a mountain called Al-Judi. It's near Al-Mosul, and the ark of Noah was above water for 150 days. 150 days. And Allah Ta'ala saved the people of Iman. He saved the people of Iman, and the people of disbelief, there was no hope from them. They drowned under the water. Even Prophet Noah's son, as you know, Canaan, he told his father, I'll go to a mountain and it will protect me. He said, today there's no protector. La asim al-yawma min amrillah. There's no protector today from the order of Allah, from what Allah willed to happen. And one of his sons, he died as a non-believer. Wal-'iyadhu billah. But Allah Ta'ala on that day, after 150 days of sailing, the ship settled, استقرت على جبل الجودي في شمال العراق قرب الموصل. And also on Ashura, Allah Ta'ala gave shifa to Nabiyullah Ayyub. Ayyub is Job, Prophet Job. And an important note here is that Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam, maradan tawilan. It was said that it was 18 years long. He lost his health. He was very ill for a period of 18 years. He had many children and they all died. He had wealth and he became poor. Throughout his whole tribulations, throughout his whole problems, his wife stood very firm to him, stood very loyal to him, and she was right by his side the whole time. And one day, Ayyub alayhi salam, he heard people say, we wonder what this person did. We wonder what this person did to have been afflicted with such a sickness. And then Ayyub alayhi salam, he felt bad. And he made dua to Allah Ta'ala. And Allah sent Jibreel alayhi salam with water. He gave him the water, and Ayyub alayhi salam washed. He made ghusl and he washed with this water. And when his wife passed by, she told him, you look like my husband. When he was young, he told her, I'm Ayyub. Allah cured me. And he gave her some water. And Allah also made her look young. And they had many children after that. Now, a very important matter here is that the sickness of Ayyub alayhi salam was a sickness that was non-repellent. It didn't repel people away. Because the prophets, the paygambars, they're human beings, but they're the top of the humans. And it's possible, يجوز عليهم المرض, لكن أمراض الأنبياء ليست منفرة. لا تنفر الناس منهم لأنهم دعاة إلى دين الإسلام دعاة إلى الحق. They came with a message, and their message, it's part of their message that they look good and they talk in a beautiful way and they smell good. Even the prophets did not have bad breath. Even bad breath they did not have. They did not even have bad breath. So in some books, it's planted in some books, and this is against Islam, that Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam was so sick that the dude came out of him. They say the dude came out of him, and he would put it back and he would say, Kuli min rizqillahi ya duda. And وَهَذَا مِنْ كِلَامِ الْيَهُودِ وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. These are words that were planted into some Islamic books by the Jewish people to try to misguide Muslims from the true path of Islam. Nabiullah Dawood alayhi salam was sick. this is what the Qur'an said, this is what the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam taught us. But his sickness was not a repelling disease. It was an illness that was inner. It did not affect his da'wah. It did not affect his calling people to Islam, his inviting people to the truth. It was even narrated that the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he would get so hot at night. He would have a fever that was so hot that his cover, it used to sweat. It used to be watery like sweat. And once he saw a woman, she took his cover and she was wringing it out. She was taking out the sweat. And he told her, "What are you doing?" She said, "We add the sweat to the utar. We add the sweat to the misk, and it makes it smell better." And Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he told her, "Good, ahsanti, asabti." He told her good, because the sweat of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam smells better than the misk and the ambar sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And it's not just the Rasul, even the other prophets. So Allah Ta'ala, He protected the prophets, He protected their bodies in the qabr from being decomposed, from decay. He protected their bodies in the qabr. The worms do not eat the bodies of the prophets. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, "Inna Allah harrama ala al-ardi an ta'kula ajsad al-anbiya." Allah Ta'ala protected, made it haram for the earth to eat the bodies of the prophets. So thousands of years after the death of any of the prophets, Adam and who is after him, their prophets still, their bodies still look nice, they smell nice, and this is such a blessing from Allah Ta'ala. Now this does not mean we can open the grave and look at it, no, we're not allowed to do that. But we know this because the Rasul told us this, alayhi salatu wasalam. And there have been many incidents in Muslim countries, in India, in Pakistan, in Indonesia, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Egypt, where the government, for example, had to build a road. They opened the old qabr. They opened a qabr to move it so that they can clear a pathway for a road. And they would see someone buried there 8, 9, 1,000 years ago, and the body still looked fresh. Even some of the beards still looked fresh. One of the bodies I heard, they moved his hand and the blood squirted on their face. It squirted on their face. So Allah Ta'ala keeps the bodies of some awliya, some very pious peers, awliya, and the bodies of the shaheeds, the martyrs, who fight or defend the religion of Allah. They fight for the sake of Allah in defense of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, or they die while defending La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Allah protects their bodies in the grave from decay. And this has been the people have eyewitnessed it with their eyes. People have eyewitnessed this with their eyes, even in recent history. This is not old news. This is very, very recent. So the Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam, his sickness was inner. It did not affect his da'wah to people, because the Nabi, they tell the people, قُولُوا لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. And when somebody is telling you, say La ilaha illallah, it sounds, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, مَا بَعَثَ اللَّهُ نَبِيًّا إِلَّا حَسَنَ الْوَجْهِ وَحَسَنَ الصَّوْتِ وَإِنَّ نَبِيَّكُمْ لَأَحْسَنَهُمْ وَجْهًا وَصَوْتًا. So the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, all the paygambars, all the nabis, they had beautiful faces and they had beautiful voices. And he said, and I and your Prophet has the most beautiful face and the most beautiful voice. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam.